Hello and welcome back. In the previous video, we're able to put together our first screen user interface here. In this video, we're going to go ahead and create a second screen which will hold all the results, and then we're going to dive into our Java code. All right, let's go ahead then and run this. Just make sure things look okay. And there it is. It's looking great. We can scroll up and down. There's one thing I noticed though. If we go back to our XML here, I think prior to this we had vertical here. So it was center vertical. If we save these and look here, you will notice that we get rid of this "Are you afraid of canines?" is not looking good. It's just hidden over there. That's because it was my mistake. You have to actually change this here to horizontal. There, like that. Save, and you look back and you will see everything looks great. So let's go ahead and create another activity. So let's go right click on layout, go new. Instead of say layout source, let's go ahead and actually create an activity. What this will do will create our XML file, which is our layout and also the Java file that connects with this layout. Okay, so like a blank activity. We're gonna name this result activity. And layout is gonna be active result. That's great. So let's finish. And there it is. Everything is created for us. And if you look into our Java file, you will see that we also have our result activity. That's very handy. Perfect. So here, let's go see what it looks like. Let's go ahead and get rid of this hello world here. So delete that. And of course, let's give it a color, background color. Since we want to be consistent, let's just copy this from our main activity and go here and go to background and just put pound there. Put V, Control V, and should change this color. Perfect, so that now they both have the same background color. All right, so what we want to be able to do here is have our result. So when users click main activity, when they click on this result button here, show results, it will take us to our result activity, and it will have a text here at the top that says you are, and then we're going to have the result whether you are a dog or a cat person. And in case you are a cat person, we'll also show a cat picture here, photo or image. If you are a dog person, we'll show a dog here. Very, very awesome. All right, let's go ahead now and drag and drop here. So look at large, let's put it somewhere around here, that's fine. And double click, and let's here and go new resource. As you see, this is a different way of creating resources as opposed to go and type everything. So in the previous video, we went ahead and typed everything because I want you to get, able to do both. Okay, so new resource, I'm gonna call is title. That's fine. Save. And ID, we don't need an ID, so let's go ahead and back here. So you see everything is created. Now let's so we forgot to actually add a title here. So let's go ahead and add ourselves. Let's say you are a, to save and go back to result here, you should see you are. Perfect. Let's go ahead and change the size of this. We can go here. So text size, okay, we can just go here and say 23 dp, hit enter, and you can see that's a little bit bigger now. Let's make it 25. Instead of dp, since it's fonts, let's say sp, 25 sp, so yeah, that's fine. All right, so here at the bottom, we're gonna have another text view. So we're gonna take another medium text view, get a large text view here. I'm gonna put it here, double click, create a new resource, new string. What we're gonna say, resource name, it's gonna be result text, that's fine, and the resource is gonna be dog or cat. We'll be changing that as we play. We'll be changing that depending on the results, but for now, so we can see where things are, we can just put it like that. Perfect. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So text size, let's say 32 sp. Enter. All right, it's pretty big here. Let's change the background color here. So text color here. Let's go tap there. Let's go to color picker. Let's make it white. I think that's a good color there. Perfect. And here at the bottom, we're going to put an image view. So go like that. So just drag and drop here. That sounds about right. And let's give it an ID. So let's go here and give it an ID of pet image view. Let's save that. It's perfect. Our text view here. Now let's give this text view here a better ID. Let's call this result text view. And let's copy this and put it here. So we save here and design. Of course, we're not going to see anything here. Let's go ahead and put an image here so we see how things going to look like, right? So in order to get an image, let's do something. Let's right click here on drawable and go reveal in Finder. That will just take us to where our drawables are of our project is located. So what we're going to do, we're just going to copy. I took the liberty and found this icons here, icon LG cat, image of cat and of a dog. So we're going to copy this too and right click and do a copy to items and go to drawable here, the first one, and right click paste, and you should have those two there. If you close out of that and look here, you'll see we have our two images here. So let's go ahead and add one image here so we can see how things are looking like. So let's go here in our image view, say background. We're going to go to drawable. So we can icon, let's give it a cat and save and go back here and voila, you have our cat. Good, it's looking really good. Okay, so I believe that we are done with our second activity. So let's go ahead now and start putting everything together. All right, we are on our main activity here as usual. Let's go ahead and create our instance variable here. So private radio group. So our first radio group we're going to call canine radio group, and next we're going to say private radio button. I'm just going to call canine radio button. Then private seek bar. Just going to call this seek bar. And private text view, you can say seek bar text view. This is a text view that will update as we move our seek bar left to right. And then let's go next, private checkbox. We have a few of checkbox. So here's another way you can instantiate or you can create as many instance variable in one line. You can say here cutest, as we call cutest checkbox dog, and just go comma, and then say cutest checkbox cat and comma, and then comma, and then cutest checkbox parrot, and then semicolon. That's very handy so that you don't have to go ahead and create each one of those in different lines. Okay, just a little trick there. And next we're gonna say another private radio group. This time it's a different group. We're gonna call it Drool radio group. Okay, so another one's gonna private radio button, and we're gonna call this Drool radio button. Okay, and then next we're gonna have a button. That's our button that's gonna show us the results, so we're gonna call it show result button. And of course we have to import, so Alt or Option, enter. There we go. And then private int dog counter, private int cat counter. What these two do, there are integers, so there's a numbers. We're going to use this two to keep track of our answers. So if you say yes, I like dogs, or yes, I have no problem with animals or drool, we're going to add points for each of the selected one. That way later we can decide which one has the highest number, and then we can decide that, okay, if dog has the higher number, that means you're a dog person. If a cat has the higher number, that means you're a cat person. Okay, just a way of keeping track of what users are selecting in this app. Now here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and instantiate all of our UI elements and everything. But a better way of doing things, let's get rid of all of this since we're not going to be using any of this. We can go ahead and instantiate everything here on create method. which is fine. That's what we've been doing for a long time now. Why not go ahead and start creating methods that do different things and then call all of them here? That way our onCreate is not just overwhelmed with information, right? So let's go ahead and create a setup function here, method. So we're going to say public void setup. So what this is going to do, essentially, we're going to go ahead and instantiate all of our radio groups, radio buttons, so all of our UI components here. So the first one we're going to do, so let's go ahead and do it. But the first thing also we want to do, we want to go ahead and instantiate our dog counter and cat counter. So we can just say dog counter is equal to 0, cat counter is equal to 0. So we're just setting everything to 0 in the beginning, okay? And then let's go ahead and say canine radio group is equal radio group, of course, and then find view by ID, so r.id dot canine radio group there, perfect. And then let's do the same for our other radio group, which is drool radio group is equal to radio group, right? Let's find view by ID, so r.id dot can drool. There we go. And the other thing you can do with Android Studio is that if you want to get rid of this, we can usually go and click here, right? And if we want it back, just go like that and it's back. The other thing you can do, you can just double click and guess what? It just focus on this screen here, which is our main activity Java. Okay, that's just a handy thing to know. Alright, so we have that. Let's go ahead and get our seek bar. So seek bar text view for now is equal to, so it's a text view type, okay. So find view r.id dot seek bar progress text view, that's what we call it. Now let's go ahead and get all of our check boxes. So we're gonna say cutest, start with the dog first, is equal to, it's a checkbox. So find view r.id dot cutest, start with the dog, there it is. So cutest, we're gonna go with the cat now, is equal is the type of checkbox. And find view r.id dot cutest, and it's a dog, of course, no, it's a cat, sorry. And the last one, cutest, we're gonna call it parrot, so it's a checkbox. And so find view by ID, so r.id dot parrot, there it is. Excellent, we've got it. Now let's go ahead here, take care of our button, our result button. So we're gonna say show result button is equal to the type of a button. So find view r.id dot show result, call it. And while we're here, let's just set up our show result dot set on click listener. So new on click listeners and enter, and Android Studio will populate everything we need. So inside here, that's where when we click show result, it's gonna calculate everything that we have said here, we have set up, and then will take us to the second screen, which is this one here, and will show us whether we are a dog or a cat person. Alright folks, we're gonna go ahead and stop our video here because it's gone too long. We'll pick it up in the next video.